Hello, and it's great to meet you again on Wonder Garden. Today, I'll guide you on how to revive and care for an orchid after it has finished blooming. We'll use extremely simple methods that are easy to do at home, requiring only ingredients you already have in your kitchen. With this approach, you won't need to spend much effort or money, yet the orchid will recover quickly, produce new roots and shoots, and prepare for even more vibrant blooms in the future. Let's get started. This orchid was purchased from a shop a few months ago. After it finished blooming, I cut off the flower stem and accidentally neglected it for half a month. Today, when I happened to check on it, I was truly surprised to see the plant still quietly growing. A new leaf had sprouted, and new roots were starting to appear. That's why I decided to document the entire process of repotting, caring for, and providing nutrients to this orchid to help it recover faster and produce new, even more beautiful blooms than before. First, I noticed that the moss medium used by commercial growers retains moisture very well. However, this characteristic can become harmful if we don't control the amount of water properly. When moisture lingers too long, especially in low airflow conditions, orchid roots are prone to waterlogging and the stem risks rotting. So, the first step in the recovery process is to remove most of this moss, leaving only a small amount sufficient to retain moisture for the plant later. When removing moss, be careful not to disturb or damage the delicate new roots. Next, I'll proceed with trimming, removing all rotten and damaged roots entirely. After removing most of the moss and keeping only a thin layer to retain moisture, I'll move on to the next step, preparing a solution to disinfect and stimulate faster root growth. This is cinnamon powder, which has strong antiseptic and antifungal properties, and is particularly effective in preventing root rot in orchids. Additionally, cinnamon helps cuts on roots dry quickly, limits bacterial invasion, and promotes new root formation. I'll use 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder like this. Add it to 1 liter of hot water. Stir well. Cover and let it steep until cool. Once cooled, I'll filter this solution using a fine cloth to remove all cinnamon residue completely. Pour the solution into a spray bottle. I'll soak the entire orchid leaf section in the remaining solution. It will disinfect, helping the plant eliminate any lingering bacteria. Spray the solution evenly around the base and roots, avoiding overspraying, just enough for the roots to absorb the cinnamon's properties without the moss soaking up too much solution. Soak the orchid leaves in this solution for about 20 minutes. While waiting, I'll treat the pine bark before planting by pouring boiling water over it to sterilize it completely. Untreated pine bark may contain bacteria, fungi, or insect eggs harmful to orchids. After 20 minutes, remove the orchid and wipe off any remaining solution on the plant. Once the pine bark has cooled, I'll rinse it one more time with clean water. For plants with new or developing roots, I'll use pre-soaked wet pine bark instead of dry pine bark. The reason is that dry pine bark can draw moisture away from the roots, causing new roots to lose hydration suddenly, leading to shriveling and poor development. I'll evenly pack the wet pine bark around the orchid's base, gently securing the roots to avoid damaging new ones. Ensure the pine bark covers evenly, but isn't packed too tightly, allowing the roots enough air and moisture. Evenly packing the medium also helps the plant stand firm and creates an ideal environment for root growth while preventing water pooling that could cause waterlogging. To secure the plant firmly, I'll use a metal rod, bent into a clip, to hold the plant to the pot. This keeps the orchid stable, preventing it from wobbling when moved or watered, helping new roots anchor to the medium faster, and reducing the risk of root breakage during the early recovery phase. Finally, I'll cover with a thin layer of moss to help retain moisture for the pot. For newly repotted orchids, we shouldn't water immediately. Watering too soon can cause high humidity, which may lead to new roots rotting, especially when root tissues are still healing after trimming. So let the plant dry completely for 3 to 5 days before watering for the first time. To prepare the fertilizer solution, I'll use this apple, a fruit I frequently use. I'll repurpose this spoiled apple to make fermented fertilizer while waiting for the plant to stabilize. Apples contain many natural sugars, vitamins, and minerals like potassium, phosphorus, and a small amount of calcium, excellent for plant development. During fermentation, these compounds are converted into forms that are easier for the plant to absorb, boosting resilience, promoting rapid root growth, and aiding recovery. Additionally, fermentation produces enzymes and organic acids that stimulate the growth of beneficial microorganisms in the medium, helping the orchid absorb nutrients more effectively. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Sugar acts as the primary energy source to enhance microbial activity, making the breakdown of organic matter in the apple more efficient. Add 500 milliliters of warm water. Stir well and cover. I recommend using fermentation containers with a vent hole like this. I'll stuff the hole with cotton to prevent bacterial contamination, while still allowing gas to escape during fermentation. Place in a shaded, cool area away from direct sunlight and ferment for 3 to 5 days. After 3 days, you can care for this orchid as usual. The apple fertilizer jar I prepared earlier has also fermented successfully. The water has turned cloudy with a thin film on the surface, a sign of successful fermentation. To fertilize the plant, I'll use 100 milliliters of the fermented fertilizer solution. Dilute the solution at a 1:15 ratio, so I'll mix it with 1.5 liters of water. Pour the solution into a dedicated watering can. And water evenly around the base. Soak the plant in the solution for 15 minutes. While waiting for the plant to absorb nutrients, I'll repurpose the leftover fertilizer to care for other orchids in the garden using 3 methods. Method 1. Base watering. Similar to the care method earlier, I'll water the orchid's base with this fermented apple solution. This is a crucial step to provide a rich nutrient source for the plant. Beneficial microorganisms and organic acids formed during fermentation improve the root zone's microbial system, stimulate new root growth, and help the plant absorb nutrients better. Water evenly around the base, avoiding the leaves or flowers to prevent irritation. With this method, the orchid will recover quickly and grow vigorously. Method 2. Misting. Next, I'll use the fermented apple solution to mist directly onto both the top and underside of the orchid leaves. Misting both leaf surfaces helps the plant absorb nutrients quickly through stomata, while also enhancing disease resistance. Apples contain natural organic acids like malic and citric acid, which clean the leaf surface and inhibit mold growth. Additionally, apples have vitamin C, antioxidants, and natural sugars that stimulate beneficial microbial activity on the leaf surface, boosting the plant's natural immunity. Regular misting also keeps leaves glossy, clean of dust, and enhances photosynthesis. Method 3. Leaf wiping. If you've missed it and the sun comes out, wipe the leaves once more. This prevents water from pooling on the leaves under direct sunlight, avoiding leaf burn due to rapid evaporation. Wiping gently maintains just enough moisture on the leaf surface, preventing heat shock and keeping the plant fresh. It also removes dust and excess substances from the leaf surface, making it easier for the plant to absorb nutrients and photosynthesize effectively. Always ensure your orchid doesn't face direct sunlight right after misting, giving it time to dry naturally to avoid leaf burn issues. Back to the original orchid. After it has absorbed enough nutrients, remove it and place it in a cool spot away from direct sunlight. Water with this fermented apple fertilizer every 15 days, avoiding overuse to prevent nutrient shock and stunted growth. On regular days, simply mist the plant with plain water to maintain humidity. Results. After 2 months of care with this method, my orchid has grown remarkably well. Many new leaves have sprouted, and new roots have started growing, developing into healthy roots. Thanks to using fermented apple fertilizer combined with other care methods, the orchid not only recovered, but also thrived, promising to bloom again soon. This is clear proof of the effectiveness of natural and patient care in restoring the health of our orchids. Continue maintaining this care routine to keep your orchid healthy and blooming beautifully. Join me in admiring the vibrant blooming flowers in the garden today, all cared for naturally with organic methods. This proves that you don't need chemical fertilizers. Using ingredients available in your kitchen, you can care for your beloved orchids to thrive in the best way possible. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos on caring for orchids and other plants from me. Thank you for watching, and wishing you success with your wonderful orchids.